Welcome back, guys. Somehow it has been almost an entire year since I released my last episode. I had planned on continuing the series at the start of this year, but there were some real life things that kind of popped up. My priorities got shuffled around and EverQuest unfortunately got pushed to the side. But I am back now, and hopefully you guys are still keen to watch me as I kind of fumble my way through Norath. Before we get started on this video, there are a few things I wanted to go over. So first thing, this YouTube channel, Varios, which you are watching the current video on right now, it's reached a point where it can't progress any further. I've been considering starting a new channel for quite some time now. I've already got a second channel set up, but unfortunately I couldn't get the name that I wanted, so I'm kind of trying to figure out what I should call that channel, just to make it easier for my subscribers to kind of transition into it. However, that whole discussion will be, I'll create an entirely separate video for it, where I'll explain more in detail why I want to move and what to expect in the future, so keep a lookout for that. The second thing I wanted to go over, so the intro for the series has been slightly modified. There's been a kerfuddle, for lack of a better word, regarding the song that I use from the Monkey Magic TV series. There's some rapper out there by the name of Original Juan, I believe. Somehow he's managed to claim that exact piece of music, claim copyright over it through the YouTube flagging system. So all of my classic adventure videos, which have used that as the intro, which is all of them except the very first one, have been flagged for third-party content. So I'm currently trying to dispute that, because the song is from 1970s Japanese rock band. It's definitely not his. If you care for any reason and want to see the song I'm apparently infringing, go look up Original Juan-intro on YouTube. It's pretty funny, because he literally just takes the intro from the Monkey TV series and plays it in his song. It's not edited at all, but yeah, it's apparently copyrighted to him now. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that any further. I've already filled out my dispute, and all I can do now is wait and hope. I just wanted to tell people to kind of show. Well, I just wanted to show someone else how ridiculous that whole thing was, and yeah. Anyway, so do that if you want. The third and final thing. The video you're about to watch was actually recorded last October. I just never got around to uploading it. I received a ton of messages in my absence asking if I'd continue the series. I initially didn't realize how many people cared. So for everyone who sent me messages, thanks. I'm sorry I disappeared for so long, but I'm back now for the foreseeable future. And I got a few messages in-game the last 2 weeks that I've been playing. I told those guys I'd give them shoutouts, and I have given you guys shoutouts, but it's in next week's video, so just keep an eye/ear out for them there. Anyway, I'm going to shut up now, so enjoy. So this week I'm in Frontier Mountains, and I have reached the first hell level of the game. So pre-2002 EverQuest, there were what people dubbed as hell levels. These were levels 30, 35, 40, 45, and then 50 through to 60, or 51 through 59, I suppose, technically. And then 54 and 59 themselves were, in fact, double hell. There is a very complicated and in-depth entire section dedicated to how XP and hell levels and race and class penalties, zone penalties, all that, how it all works in Project 99 on the Project 99 wiki, created by very clever people who are much more adequate at explaining it than me. So if you wanted to look more in depth into it, head there, just do a search for Hell Levels Project 99 wiki and you'll find it. But I'll just give you the real basic. So at level 30, it pretty much costs twice the amount of XP to level as it does for level 31 or level 29. So these levels are quite aptly named, because you definitely do feel the slowdown, and they are just a massive grind. So this is Frontier Mountains, and it has the same problem that Warsless Wood suffers from, where you need levitate, otherwise it's kind of shit to navigate through. very dangerous for level 30. Some good XP though, so kind of high risk, high reward, I suppose. But the reason it's so dangerous is because of all these hills. You kind of can't see mobs until they're already on you if you're running up a hill and stuff like that. And then, you know, it can be more trouble running away from them than it can be to actually fight a mob that you probably won't even win against. So, but you know, as always, I'm a monk. I got Fae Death, so 0 fucks given. Another kind of shit thing about the zone is not even the wall is safe. At times you'll get goblins and stuff that walk right along the wall, so you can't even drag a mob back to the wall and fight it without still being at risk. So I would much rather be off in a dungeon somewhere right now. I just really want to get out of the hell level before I move on. I really want to go check out Mistmore at some point. Make the trip over to the Fae Dark, which is a fair journey. It's kind of one of those, you know, point of no return things where you kind of want to make sure you've got everything ready before you go, because it's a very long way away. It's a classic example of just the risk associated with this zone. Everything is patrolling out in the open here, and you constantly have to just watch out for aggro. This goblin dirt tracer is very worrying for me right now, because if he runs in that direction, he won't help out the brute, because he'll only help out other goblins, but still, nonetheless, I have to be very cautious. Pretty much, all the mobs are social, but only to their own species. So if it was another brute there, he would have aggroed me. If it was a giant or something like that, he wouldn't have. But, you know, if you're fighting a giant and there's a giant there, it's going to help out his friend. So after grinding a while out in the open, I ended up coming across this group. There is a giant fort in this zone as well, and I figured I'd just stick with them for a while. The XP is slower in the group, but a group does provide that safety, so it is more constant. Again, this goes back to the kind of risk versus reward, which is always so much what leveling in this game is about. So I stuck with these guys for a while. Just did some pulling, kind of just wailing away on these giants. Wasn't really much of a threat to us at all. There was no one else here, so we had the whole fort to ourselves. It's always good to get some practice in pulling and splitting for groups, so I got to do some of that here as well. When I pull an ad, you feign death, and then you can either sneak, do what's called a sneak split, which is what you start sneaking when you feign death, and then when the mobs turn around and start to walk back, you are invisible to them from the behind, so you can use a throwing weapon to then re-aggro and only one will aggro, or you can just do the classic feign death split, which is where you feign death and then you wait till one walks back, and then once he's far enough away, you get up and re-engage the one that's still close, and he's the only one that returns with you. So always good practice. Just like any other giants, it's pretty good loot here. There's lots of vendor trash that sells from anywhere between 10 and like 60 plat, so it's always nice. Another day, another giant fort. I dropped the group. I'm gonna try and I've only got like one yellow left until 31, until I'm out of this hell level. Just trying my hand at a bit of soloing in here. I mean, It's doable, but it's touch and go. I mean, you risk getting ads when the giants run, but you then have that added safety of it being a fort and nothing wanders through from outside. Like, there's no goblins or brutes or anything like that. They'll just wander past as you're fighting to aggro you and make your life hell. And that being said, there are a few giants that do patrol around the outer wall. So even when I pull it into the corner here, I kind of have to keep watch, but it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, I don't know. It's good XP, but it's still hell nonetheless, which it just makes it suck. I'm kind of contemplating going back to Worthless Woods Giant Fort. If I could get that empty, like if there was no one there and I could just have the whole thing to myself, I'm curious to see if that would be faster, just because everything there is such a lower level and I could just blitz the entire place and not have any downtime. Whereas here I kind of kill one giant or two, then I have to have a lot of downtime and I'm constantly on the lookout. And there have been a few times where the giants have run in an awkward direction and aggroed, and I've had to feign death, and it's just completely wasted the entire amount of time killing them, because I have to feign death and wait to lose aggro and they run off and then they regen to full health. So there are some ups and downs here at the moment. I think, you know, in a couple levels it should kind of even out when they become a lot easier for me to kill. But as it is right now, I mean, they're all blue to me except a few are even, and there's some that are even yellow. But yeah, even with them being blue, sometimes the fights can go either way. Like, sometimes, even just on a one-on-one, I'll have to feign death, just because I've gotten a few unlucky hits. Well, they've gotten a few unlucky hits in. But, you know, we're almost out of it. We have just over 4 blue bars to go. And then obviously I want to secure the level. But the thing about hell levels is it's quite possible that I need twice as much XP to get from level 30 to 31 as I will to get from 31 to 32. So once I ding, I will probably be getting a lot more XP per kill in here. I'm gonna have to feign death. This guy's raping me. Or not. I guess that worked out pretty well. Now I have some downtime. I have to, you know, wait until I'm completely back to full and contend with respawns, stuff like that. But yeah, like I was saying before, it'd be interesting to see whether this is still faster than just having the entire Worthless Fort to yourself and just going through and slaughtering everything. It probably is still faster than doing that, but that would be definitely would be easier and safer. The whole game, leveling in this game, is very often a risk versus reward scenario. So, although I might be getting less XP in Worthless Woods, it's practically 0% chance that I will ever die. And here's a prime example. This fight, I mean, I had to pull him back into this corner, but yeah, I'm already at... He's just smashing me. To use a mend just to even up the fight. Be really careful there. That giant over to my left, I'm pretty sure is yellow to me, so I wouldn't want to be aggroing him. So that giant there, running out the back wall. that's one of the ones that will pretty much circle the entire fort. So, gotta keep an eye out for them. And here it comes. Perfect. So another really good thing about this giant fort, there's never really a shortage of giants. I mean, there's never really heaps of people here, but currently there's a group just outside pulling, and I mean, there's more than enough for all of us, so that's always an up. So that's pretty much it for this week, guys. That was a bit of ragtag footage, all kind of thrown together from like a year ago. So come back next week where we're pretty much starting fresh. I go back to Highkeep where I become indecisive about being a good or a bad lizard. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you then.